We do want to come back here at home. The holiday weekend turning into a washout in the nation's heartland, hit by dozens more reported tornadoes and severe flooding. Rob is in hard-hit Wichita, Kansas for us this morning. Rob, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Whit. Boy, we had it all yesterday. A severe thunderstorm warning, a tornado just to our east, a flash flood emergency. Obviously, the rivers here are running high. We've had a lot of water coupled with severe weather. Boy, it has been a tough week here in the central U.S.
Overnight, the ongoing severe weather outbreak plaguing the heartland. A tornado taking aim at Iowa City. Watch this fast-moving twister on the move, whipping up debris into the air, nearby homes and structures in its path. Another view shows the funnel hanging right behind the Iowa City Stadium.
With ABC News exclusive, our journey to the bottom of the earth tonight, where scientists are convinced that humpback whales can tell us a lot about climate change and its widespread effects. ABC's James Longman is in Antarctica as scientists take a major step tonight.
A journey to the ends of the earth. Speeding across the frozen wilderness of Antarctica, we're tracking groups of humpback whales. American scientists and the World Wildlife Fund here using specially designed drones leading the search.
We have sleeping whales up here. Can we get the tadpole ready?
We approach these awesome giants and get a view from above, gathering vital information to better understand the impact of climate change.
So this is the whole point of this mission, to get as close as possible to these whales and tag them with these GPS systems that can tell us so much more about their behavior.
Across the Antarctic Peninsula, 87% of the glaciers here are receding, creating more open water, which has actually helped grow the humpback population. But warming waters are threatening a small crustacean called krill, the main food supply for humpbacks and the bedrock of Antarctica's entire food chain.
They represent the health of the
The 2017 Atlantic hurricane season was one of the deadliest on record. Hurricanes Harvey, Maria and Irma caused billions of dollars worth of damage, wrecking entire communities in their wake. According to the Center for Climate and Energy Solutions, storms have increased in intensity over the past 3 decades, fueled by warmer oceans and made worse by rising sea levels. It's something researchers at the school.
Well, we are monitoring all across the country protests against abortion bans that are being held. These are the scenes we want to show you. Louisville, Kentucky, Washington, D.C., and St. Petersburg, Florida. You see them on your screen right there. We're talking about more than 300 demonstrations organized by at least 50 organizations. It's being called a National Day of Action.
There is growing concern in this country and fear about deadly attacks against transgender Americans, particularly trans women of color. As Amna Nawaz tells us, a series of murders in different cities in just 1 week has underscored a larger pattern of violence over several years. And yet it comes at a time when trans celebrities are more accepted and more prominent in pop.
Well, our kids are facing pressures like never before, and it's taking a serious toll. Youth suicide rates are on the rise in the U.S., now the second leading cause of death for people as young as 10. Gordon Severson explains what's likely behind the increase and why parents of young girls should be especially concerned.
As young as, 10 years old, and that's a scary thought.
For Brainerd native Eric Hopajoki, the issue of teen suicide is more than just a scary thought. It's real.
We had known he'd been struggling, with some depression.
Last year, his 16-year-old son Jake took his own life.
In high schools across the country, a crisis.
Who here knows somebody personally who's contemplated suicide? Wow. Every single one of you.
Suicide now the second leading cause of death between the ages of 10 and 18. For Utah principal Dr. Greg Hudnall, it's more than statistics after he was called to identify the body of one of his 14-year-old students.
I literally threw up and sobbed. I made a vow that I would do everything that I could to help prevent suicide.
He founded Hope Squad, a way to help kids change how they talk about mental illness.
In health news this noon, a new link is discovered between diet and cancer. poor diet is linked to more than a third of all colorectal cancer cases in the U.S. According to a study from Tufts University, more than 5% of cancer cases in 2015 were connected to unhealthy food intake. Researchers say a diet low in whole grains was linked to the largest number of new cases. New research suggests a link between the adult opioid epidemic and the rise of suicide rates among young people. Researchers from the University of Chicago and the University of Pittsburgh looked at more than 300,000 children and found their risk of attempting suicide doubled if their parents used opioids for at least.
Depression is a common illness worldwide with more than 300 million people affected. It is one of the leading causes of suicide. Close to 800,000 people commit suicide every year, which is one person every 40 seconds. According to the Federal Ministry of Health, 30% of Nigerians suffer from mental illness. Chika Nwaiwu brings us this report.
Depression is a common illness worldwide. According to the World Health Organization, more than 300 million people are affected, and it is one of the leading causes of suicide. Close to 800,000 people die due to suicide every year, which is one person every 40 seconds.
Themes of suicide or self-harm are almost unavoidable in the media today. It is important to bring such issues to light.
Suicide is everywhere in movies and TV shows.
While starting conversations about mental health is critical to suicide prevention, the messages adolescents get from shows like 13 Reasons Why often have the opposite effect.
The graphic portrayal of